Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she, her, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video focuses on my favorite fluffy queer books, but before I get into that, I'd like to address something that's not fluffy or lighthearted at all, and that is the situation in Palestine right now. I stand with the Palestinians right now because I know that they should not be experiencing this amount of genocide and death right now. So, like I said in my last video, I've included links to those donation videos in the description box below because I think it's really important to stand with them. And like I said in my last video, even though I don't really understand why all this stuff has been happening, I do know that I stand with the Palestinians because I think it's really important to support them, because from what I've learned, I think what's been happening is a result of like settler colonialism or something like that. I don't know specifically, but anyway, I do stand with all those people because they are suffering so much, and I know that nobody deserves to be suffering that much ever. So yeah. Anyway, with that said, please go donate. And yeah, the first book on this list is called Meet Cute Diary. This book is so good. It's YA contemporary and it definitely deserves all of its hype and so much more. It follows a young transgender gay triracial boy whose first relationship makes him kind of question his idea of perfect relationships. This book is so good. Like I said, it definitely deserves all of its hype and so much more because it's absolutely so good. I read it so recently, like I think last week, because it's so good. This book is so good because the representation is so well done. I absolutely so enjoyed it. I think this book did such a great job with normalizing different types of pronouns, normalizing different types of sexualities and gender identities. This book is so good. The main character is such a wonderful, well-developed, distinct character. I loved his romance so much. This book is so good, and it's so accepting and wonderful and lovely and so happy, and there needs to be more happy transgender love stories like this because I haven't really read a whole lot of them. This book is so good and it's so wonderful and so lovely because, like I said, the representation, the plot, the romance, the character development, this book is so good, and with that I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Yesterday's History. This book is YA contemporary and follows a young gay black boy, and after his new organ transplant, I can't remember if he gets a new liver or if it's a new kidney, but whatever, with his new surgery, he gains the ability to time travel, and he's stuck between two boys, one in the past and one in the present. This book is so good. It's so well done. There are so few happy queer black stories that exist because there are so many more black stories that deal with all the trauma and racism and all that kind of stuff that black people do in fact deal with. But I think that there needs to be more happy black stories, you know? Anyway, this book is so good and it's so awesome, and this author is so talented, and honestly I can't believe that this is his debut book because this book is so good. The plot, the romance, the character development, the setting, the time traveling, this book is so good and it deserves all of its hype and so much more. This book deserves just as much hype as like You Should See Me in a Crown and other lovely fluffy YA queer contemporaries like that, because this book is so good. So with that, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called I'll Be the One. This book is a YA contemporary story, and it follows a young Asian bisexual girl who wants to become the first plus-size K-pop star. This book was one of my favorites last year, and if you didn't know, I rate all my favorites 5 stars. And like I said in my last recent reads video, I rate books 5 stars when there's nothing about them that I would change. And there's nothing about this book that I would change, because this book is absolutely so good. It's so great. It's so wonderful and lovely and amazing, and I loved it. I loved every single element of the story. First of all, the romance was so cute. It was so fluffy and lovely and lighthearted, and I loved their chemistry, and it was done so well. The main character is such a wonderful, resilient, lovely main character, and I love her. I think that she is such a wonderful, realistic, three-dimensional character, and she was done so well. I really enjoyed that this book talked about the fat phobia in the K-pop community because it was done so well. This book is so good, and I think that it's so important and timely, and I think that there's so many people out there who could really resonate with Sky when it comes to her body shape, and I think that this book is so good, and with that I would highly recommend it. And yeah, the next book on this list is called The Falling in Love Montage. This book is YA contemporary, and it follows a young girl who doesn't really believe in love at first sight until she meets another girl who might change her mind about that. This book is so good. I really enjoyed it. First of all, the romance is so fluffy, and it's so cute, and it's so lighthearted. Second of all, I really enjoyed the main character. I felt like she was such a wonderful, well-developed, distinct main character, and she was so emotionally touching, and I was so emotionally attached to her. This author does characters like no other because her characters are so well developed and so distinct, like actually hailing like who, you know what I mean? This story was so well done. The plot was so intriguing, and it was so wonderfully written. I'm so excited for this author's next book, which I think comes out next week. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Not My Problem, and it comes out the 25th of May, and I'm so excited because this book was so good. It was so well done, and it was so wonderful, and it was so lovely. This book definitely deserves all of its hype and so much more because it's so good. So with that, I highly recommend it. The last book on this list, but certainly not the least, is called Hazel's Theory of Evolution. This book is middle-grade contemporary, and it follows a young, ALO-based girl whose life turns upside down in her last year of middle school. This book is so good. It's so wonderful and so wholesome and so fluffy, and it's so lighthearted, and it's so good. First of all, I really enjoyed Hazel as a main character because she is so wonderful. She is so lovely and unique and curious, and I love her, and I would love to be her friend. Speaking of her friends, I really enjoyed the friend group represented in this story. It was so well done, and I loved every single element of this story and every single one of those people in the friend group. Like I said, I enjoyed every single element of this story. So with that, the plot was so intriguing, and it was so well done. Like I said, I can't stop emphasizing that this story is so wholesome and so fluffy, and it's so lighthearted because it's so good. I absolutely loved it. I wanted to reach through the pages and give Hazel a hug because I love her. This book is so well done, and it's so underappreciated, and it's so good. So with that, I highly recommend this book because it's so good. So in conclusion, if you gleaned anything from this video, I hope you understand that it's of utmost importance to donate to Palestine, not to check out these books, but if you do both, that's great. So in conclusion, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the frog emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to donate.